Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on clusters. I've got all these little pieces and parts I fussy cut out. I just had some scrap pages where I'd ripped some things off of it. So I cut the leftovers and we're going to make something out of it. Going to make them useful. A couple videos ago, I showed you these. I forget what I called them, like a large over the page, large tag window, something like that, because see, they're shaped in a tag shape and they have a dangle. Well, when I was cutting the window out, I'm thinking, well, the way I've got them is no different than just having a piece of paper glued on there instead of cutting the window out. I didn't even think about that. And the part with the hidden paper clip, the paper clip couldn't be used until I put this behind here so it was hidden. But if the window was cut further down, it would be useful as a hidden paper clip. So I wanted to throw that at you. And if it was a case of leaving the window open or putting the acetate in it, I thought it would be a cute idea if you tucked a tag or something up under it that had the scene on it where you could see it through the clear acetate. So I wanted to bring that to your attention too as another possibility because I didn't give it to you then. And so these were just, I really loved how they turned out. Put some old buttons on that one just to fill in that little hole. But I did them all about the same area where I cut the hole out. And I think I like the colored background better than the craft paper. I really like the map one. That turned out really great. Well, that's sort of your sneaky peek. I hate to tell you. I still haven't got a book. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have to run down to the shop. This is what we're making. We're, of course, using up more book page, but I picked the ones that had like a blank back on them. These were from that Jurassic Park book, and I thought I've got a postage stamp or a postcard stamp that I got at Hobby Lobby, and we're using that. As you can see, I've got it printed out here. I tried it with book page, actual book page showing, but it covers everything. So I didn't like that aspect of it. So that gets put to the side, and I went with the clear. And I like that I can still see that. It's kind of like a mail theme. I always got to tell a story. So it's sort of a mail theme. And there was a couple of pages in this ephemera pack. Now, this is what I've been using in my steampunk journal. And I did not bring that to light the other day when I did the video. So I'm sorry about that. But it's ephemera. And it has all these great pages in it. And it's got this one that's postage stamps. So I had a few of them that I chose to cut out, and then I had the rest of that sheet. So that's what I did here. I even used the little ones that were going off the sides kind of thing, because I can use those to tuck under like I did to these. I also have a page of butterflies that I've had. Actually, I had more than this because I had fussy cut quite a few odd and ends that I had down in here. So those got cut up. I have a few little snippets of lace and tulle and ribbon and things like that. And I have this little bit of buttons. I've actually got two of these. And I think I got them when I was doing the sewing journal. But they're embellishments I got from Michael's. I don't think they have them anymore, but I think the number is 507281. But anyhow, I didn't like the boldness of them. So with this one, I took my sanding block. You can see the pink still on it. I sanded it down to where it was like this muted look like the actual stamps. And I love it. I love it. So we're going to do more of that. I do have a little bag of flowers that I recently got from Tim Holtz. It's the layers. And I picked out a lot of the small ones. And that's the only ones I could see that would work here. Then we have, last but not least, the stamp pad that we're going to be using is the Correspondence. And Probably mostly it's going to be this one. I may do the wavy lines up here. I'll just wait and see which two that I want the most. I wanted to, and then I've got postcard up here, but I think I'm good with the way that is. So, let's get to it. Here's my stamp. And I'm going to stamp out several more. I think I'm going to do 2 to a page. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to get on here. I've sort of got them all kind of dished out here. And I'm going to be inking around the outside because I'd like that dark edge on them. And I'm trying to... I got 2 big ones under here, the half-penny ones. Alright, so let me get to inking 2 more of these onto my pages while I say... Howdy, thank you for coming. Thanks for stopping by to see what's going on today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all your support, all your feedback, all your likes and comments. Everything is very much appreciated. It's such a busy world out there today. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Compared to my grandmother's time, it's just unbelievable how much has changed. You know, sit back and think about just your lifespan. I remember when we had rotary dial phones and party lines. I remember party lines. Anybody else out there, raise your hand. I do remember party lines. We had, what did we have? Did we have 4 rings? 2 and 2 or something like that. It was at least 7 or 8 of us on the party line. And we had the old busybody that was always listening in. She was a card. Oh my gosh. You know, because you couldn't really tell that you were hung up. That was the thing. Sorry, I ran over to get another sheet. I think I might get 6 more done. But yeah, she would listen in. Usually when your ring went, that's what everybody else knew that was for you. So she would sneakily pick it up while you're in the talking and everything. Now, okay, here's a bad thing I need to tell you. My mom, she never graduated from high school. Her grandmother worked her like a dog and would not allow her to even learn to read, basically. I mean, she can read, but her understanding of things isn't too good, and or choice of words and things like that. But it has a wonderful memory, and she's just the sweetest thing. But the thing I was getting at was she didn't graduate high school because she's almost there. She was halfway through that year, and I forget what happened. I think she got a job, and that's where she met my dad. And I think that was kind of what kept her from going on. She figured she can make her a life off of the work that she was doing. So anyhow, she got married. That dad, of course, got married. Then they had us, and she needed something to ride around town with, to have with us kids, you know, to haul us around. So what it was is she picks out, they have a Volkswagen. Anybody remember a Volkswagen? The Doodlebug. That's what we always called it, the Doodlebug. I'm laying these out, and then I'm going to push them up where you can see them. So don't worry. I'll make sure I get them up here where you're able to see. I think that's going to be all. And then the rest of them can go up here. And the little pieces and part ones is what I'll use next. Okay. All these. I definitely got some more I could be making. I really like this one. Maybe I'll change this one out and use this one on one. Well, actually, it's supposed to be sideways in now. And I think that's all the new ones. Right? Yeah. I think that says New Zealand. Any of you from New Zealand? You have a stamp here. All right. So anyhow, oh, I do have one more over here. Shoot. So anyhow, she goes and drives around without a license. That was what I was getting at. She did not have a license. And so, and so I think the busybody listened in and heard her talking about not having a license or something. Somehow I got around to that old woman knowing she didn't have one. So we're in town shopping, doing this, doing that. And I'm gonna cut this part off. And lo and behold, there comes the cop, pulls us over, wants to see her license. There, she don't have one. Well, so we didn't get hauled to the paddy or in the paddy wagon anywhere, but we did have to stand out on the street, and I think Dad had to come and get us. He had to get off of his job. I guess the same thing. Had to get off of his job and come down there and get us. Oh my gosh, what a time, I tell you. So I'm taking my scorched timber and I'm going to go around the outside of these ones I know I'm going to be using. Those two got the same kind of ends on them. I'm going to change that. Yeah, so poor Dad, he had to come down there. He picked us up, took us home, and I think she got a ticket. I guess that's how they did it back then. And she did finally go and get this license, though. She did finally go and get that taken care of and accomplished. She had many goals in life. Which way does this go? I think this goes this way. So I'm going to lay this out until I figure out what I want to do here. Yeah, so yeah, that was something. That old woman got us in trouble. I don't know if she just got joy in life or being hateful or what it was. I have no clue. That was just the way she was. You busybody. But anyway, back to progress. Progress in life. Yeah, I have all these medical miracles, but yet look, we still can't figure things out. We got the, penicillin and all that came out. And that was like after all of these people had died in the influenza epidemics and that kind of thing. I need to maybe I will put this one in here just for something different. It needs another color, I feel. I like this greenish one. Oh, it's even got a word up there, so maybe we'll use that one. So, yeah. I remember when computers were just now getting into the high schools, and they were like a lab. You had to sign up to get into the, what do you call it? I guess it was a lab. I guess that's the word I'm trying to think of. But yeah, you had to sign up and get on the list to be able to go in there, because there was only so many. And you got your pass and you did whatever you needed to learn on there. They were the thing of the future. Everybody was telling us even back then. And so whoever studied them and got the good grades and stuff on them, they were probably the ones that went farther in life. Let's see, I'm going to do this. I want to see the C. And I'm going to stick it up a little bit above there. So let me do this real quick to do it right like that. Yeah, you got a bunch of scraps, especially if you got a scrapbook page that has all these wonderful little cutout kind of goodies on it, don't hesitate to do something with them. I've had these butterflies staring at me for a while, and I've been needing to do something with them. But you just get out here and you just stagger. Just remember to stagger. You see, I didn't have a line or anything that was the same as anybody else. And if it had a little bit of interest that was on there, that was great. That's what you want to stick out. Now, the part we're going to now is a plant of some type. Now, this was an odd one. I think they mixed these two together and didn't mean to, because there is this one that stands by itself, which is that. And then there was this one, which was what I just used on the other one. And that was the one. So I think what I could do is maybe cut these two apart and use this one on here. I don't need them to be that big, so I thought I would do something like that. And there, I could use that other little tip somewhere else. Let's see. So, could put that like right here. And then I have probably a nice pretty blue butterfly here. See the right blue? I've got another one. He's more of a purpley blue. That one, that's probably a better one. And then I've got purple with a dark outline. You got to audition. Now, that one's too fake looking. You always have to audition your little goodies too. Now, I'm going to actually go down through here and trim that white off. I don't like that. Alright, I got it all trimmed up to my satisfaction. And we're going to stick it down here. I remember so many great things as I was growing up. I don't know what these kids do now. I mean, we used to go out and play in the dirt. You know, we had a booger man house, and it had one of those big old cast iron stoves, the huge ones that sat there, and we would pretend we're cooking something, and yeah, it was fun. We would be cooking or add a little water to it. It looked just like chocolate icing or chocolate cake batter. I know I took a big lick on my finger one time, and oh, I got enough iron in my body that time. And this used to be a barnyard, so I can only imagine how many cows had contributed to my youth. Oh my goodness. I did forget to use some little snippy snippets over here. Rats. Let's see if I can still get some in there somewhere. Because I got some little tiny pieces, and then I can cut on these. Do you even want to worry about it? Let's put that one down. He's just a tiny little guy. And it won't take much to hold him. Oops. Just to give it a little bit of extra, you know. Now, the button. Let's see about it if we want a button. I have sort of a bluey button right there. That button I can't sand down. I want one I can sand. Alright, I pulled out my other container of them, and this blue may be right on the money. And it might be something I could put out right there. So let's sand him. And see, all you gotta do is just start working at it with the little sanding disc. And just leave a little bit of the color left behind. I want it to be worn. And I don't need that specific color. So whatever is left, I'll be happy with. And I want to sand the edges mostly so it looks like they're really aged. I love these little sanding blocks. I kept seeing Crafty by Tony using them, and I thought, I gotta check it out. All right, so we're gonna take that one off of that. See, I told you I had two of those. So we're just gonna, yeah, use like a paler version. Okay, so I'm gonna put some dots there, and he's gonna go right here. I hate that he's covering the 20. Maybe I can stick that right over here. So I've got a little bit more. Yeah, let's do that. And then I still have to stamp it. So let's stamp it. I'm going to use my received. Where would I like it to be? I want it to kind of go off the side. Maybe like right here. I'm not crazy about the circle in a circle though. But that's okay. That's okay. So there's our second one done. Got my little bit of lace there. And yeah, I think that's cute. That's cute. All right, let's go into the next one. And I think I'm going to cut it apart. There we go. Let's see, what other good things do I remember from way back when? Who remembers this? What was it, 16 ounces drinks? We would we would go to a certain grocery store. I think it was Kroger's, and we would get an 8-pack of these 16-ounce drinks. These things were like this tall, and like one of them equaled like 2 that you get out of the machines nowadays. They were that big. And so we would get those and take them home, and we would drink them through the week. They had their own little carton, and then once you got done with that, you brought them back in the carton, and you got your deposit fee, and then you could go get more. So every time you brought your bottles back, you got a deposit fee. And so that was really cool. I'm wondering about putting that over top. Maybe. Yeah, and then for us to be occupied, because there's 3 of us kids, for us to be occupied, for Mom to be able to go shop, she would give us $1. And we had to go see how strategically we could use that $1. So that she had time to shop and not worry about us. Oh my gosh. And yeah, we would scour over everything we could to figure out exactly what we could get. See, I'm trying to think of a new layout here. Maybe like that or something. I think I kind of like that. I would like Mr. George's head to be a little bit more prominent. Let's see. Maybe like that. And then we would go to another store, and it was like, what is it called? T-Mart. It was called T-Mart, and it had, I guess, like Big Lots nowadays. Discount items were in it, and that kind of thing. I'm going to actually put this little bit of a red one here. And they had this cool thing called a grab bag. Now, we were fascinated with those things. It was just a brown bag, and what it was is they had taken all these little oddball elements that were in the store that had fell out of the package or something along those lines, and they took them. I want to see France, but it's evening up with this side, but I think I'm okay with it because I want to see France. So yeah, they had thrown all kinds of things in there. So we didn't know what was in each bag. They were only $0.25. I mean, back then, that was, I guess that was not a deal, but a pretty high price. Because what was it? You could get like a drink for 35 cents, or you could call somebody for a dime. Or nickel. I think it used to be a nickel. Oh, but yeah, Mom. And then Mom had another thing she would do at the grocery store. She would be saving up for dishes, or yeah, it was something that they had where, depending on if you bought like $35 each week, you would get a choice of a not cutlery, it was glassware. It was like plates, cups, saucers, all that kind of stuff. So you had a choice of getting something with that. And I think those are too dark. Maybe this little lighter shaded one here. That might work. Yeah, I like that. I don't think I even have to trim around it. Maybe a little bit. So yeah, she was like collecting up. You got a butter dish, or you got a creamer, a pitcher. It was all kinds of things, but that was one of the ways you could build up. And then we would go to Hardee's or McDonald's, or I think it was mostly Hardee's. I think we went to, where you would get a drink. Wait a minute, how did that work? No, well, no, it was jelly. No, we would get a specific type of jelly, and the way the lid came off, it's probably Welch's or Smucker's or something, but the way the lid would come off, you could just pop the lid, and you were able to get a nice rounded, smooth top edge on it. It wasn't, you know, it was the next best thing than drinking out of a mason jar. How about that? Because they made great glasses. But I know we used to go to Hardee's or McDonald's or something, and you could get glasses there. And it would be something you could add to your dishes. I mean, you had all these ways and means back then of saving money and getting something for next to nothing, that kind of thing. Plus, it was a promotion for the stores to do those kind of things that brought more in, more customers and things. Okay, I think I'm good with that. I told you I wasn't going to trim, and then I trimmed. All right. So I think with this one, I have this pretty little sheer tool that I'm going to just stick right over top. Now, when I go to have to stamp, actually, I'm going to stamp before I glue all that down. How about that? We're going to hold this to the side. I already have a big old stamp there, but I'm going to put it up here in this corner. All right. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to see if I can do it to where I can still see my France. Though I might cover it. Who knows? I think I covered France. Oh, that's all right. But see, we got red up here and red down there. That's another thing you want to do when you're doing your collages, that type of stuff. So I'm going to put my plant here, just like that. I don't know if I used enough glue on there to hold it down. So I'm going to hold it for a second. Okay, I was debating whether I wanted a button or if I just wanted lace. And I think I'm just going to go with lace. To kind of go down here underneath of this butterfly. And I chose this one because he has sort of a red in him. So that's the color I've got going there. I'm trying to work the colors to go with, the butterfly colors to go with what I've got going color-wise on the stamps. So let's see. That's going to go there. That could kind of go there. I don't think it's really blocking anything. Plus these two are kind of holding down the netting. And I have to ink around the outside of the butterfly just a tad because you can see his white core. So tell me something that you remember as you were growing up. I think I need to use this. As you were growing up, any kind of great memories that they don't have nowadays. I mean, I've talked to people older than me, like my dad and everything, and he was telling me stuff about, going to the movies for, a quarter, a dime, something really inexpensive that they just don't have nowadays. Or you could go into one of those mom and pop stores and take in a quarter and get like a drink, a snack, a sandwich, all kinds of stuff in one shot. It's just amazing. Now I have a little pearl somewhere over here that I need to use up. It's been laying on my desk ever since I did something else. So we're going to actually put a little pearl right there and get rid of it. There. It's gone. Thank goodness. I'm trying to use up stuff I have on my desk. I'm still working my steampunk, so some of it's over here in case you can see that far. But there we go. There's that little guy. We'll do a show and tell here at the end, though. All right, the next one. I want to do one of these big green ones. I'm trying to do like one of each. I got a big red one there, too, we need to do. Okay. And then and then I'll probably show, the next ones in the next video I do, or whatever I get done here, Maybe I'll have them on the thumbnail. Yeah, that thing. Okay, here is my half penny. And I have some of these things that were actually a freebie at Valentine's Day from Scrapbooking with Me, but I didn't like the couples that were inside, but I kept the little frames, but these colors won't do. That will probably go over here with that color very well. With that stamp, look at that. Yeah, so that's where they'll go. We'll be doing that one next. I did want to have a few other colors kind of building up here. I have a green there. This is a blue. This has some green in it. I wonder if I can move that over a little bit. And, well, I wanted that 35 to show. Maybe something like that. Yeah. And do I have... I only got a couple of those. I got a big red one. I don't think I want red in this one, though. I think I'm going to put this blue one under there. All right, let's go over here and get a little ink on our spouncer and see what we can do. Just a little black going here. Oh, that is very bold. Very bold. I was looking the other day, or I was telling you the other day about how my grandparents came over, and I got back into my little report. Now, I've been working on this thing forever. I haven't finished it. Oh, you know how it is. But anyhow, I wanted to say, I always had it in my mind that everybody came over in January of 1930, because I know my grandmother had my Uncle Harrison about November 1929. And I know they were starting to come over here. But, that would have been the dead of winter. And I don't think I really ever thought about that. So what I figured was, with one of my censuses that I had looked up, I found the family in 1930 in Bath County. But it was strange the way they were listed, because it was almost like somebody gave the information that did not know them at all. I'm having to rip that back so I could get this piece on here. That did not know them at all, because in one instance they claimed that I think it was my grandparents, one of them was Canadian French, and I think the other one was born in Michigan, and the parents were too. So it was some oddness, and they didn't know how to spell the name, the last name. They put a F instead of an M. Like, what in the world? So anyhow, I did find where, how did that work? It was a bunch of the kids were listed over here under their sister and her husband. So they were listed that way. Yet, let's see, how did that work? It was in April, and I think it was either April 9th or something like that. The census was taken in West Virginia, and they had listed my aunt and her brother, and then her husband, and a couple other kids in the household. Yet on the 16th of April, they're basically all over in Bath County. So it was something to do with that. So that must have been when they were coming over. But remember, my grandparents were coming over by wagon train first. Then they went back over and got the kids and came over. So, so now I realize it was probably mostly in April that all of this stuff happened. All right, that's probably going to be where I do my stamp. So let me do my stamp. I guess if anybody out there is interested in doing their family tree, start digging. You might want to start digging. There is a lot of stuff you have to go through and figure out. Get with some of the older members of the family. I think I'm going to cut this down. I don't know what this is, like a banner or something. But I'm going to cut this down and take 1/2 of it. And I think I'm going to cut this end off because I don't really need that pink bow. There. So, let's see what we got. Something like that. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then I've got a blue. I have sort of a green butterfly, but I think I don't know if he would be better, or the swallowtail. Do I have other blue ones? I have sort of a purpley one. I think I'm going with the green one right now. I really like that green. And so I need to have something else underneath. I do have this little bit of green that was some of that sari silk that Keong had given me. And I think if I could rip a little strip of it. Can I rip it, or do I have to? I think I gotta cut it. Let's see what I can do with that. Okay, I didn't mean to get a knot in it. But I would like to have, yeah, where you can get the little shears to come out of it. Oh, yeah. Now, let's see what I can do with that. I don't know that, after all that work, I don't know that I like it. Let's see what it looks like under here. That kind of looks good, yeah. But I think we're going to have to go for the fabric tacking in to put around that. Well, the way it feels in this room, it must be really, really warm out there, because it's kind of steamy back here. Okay, let me see if I can touch that and then get in here with a little bit of glue on that. And then I'll put that back down. That right there is a good spot. And then we'll put our little butterfly down. I'm trying to debate whether I want a button. I do have a green button, so let's check into that button. I'll put that like that. Put that back on here. And let me get the sand in this button. Alright, I'm picking out this green instead of that green. That's a nice pale green. Almost matches the butterfly. Ooh, that'll work. That'll work. I don't know if this is considered mixed media. I am using different medias. I got buttons and legs and then everything else is, well, I'm stamping, but then everything else is paper. Yep, I like that. I like that. Let us do a little bit more around the outside edge. That works for me. And now let me get him down here. Well, I'm trying to get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so you can kind of see all the different things that you can use. I really like that pattern there, but I'm going to have to cover it. I like the word Philip up there. It's going to have to go there. I still wanted to see the half penny. I didn't want to cover that. Alright, so that goes up there. Next, that's what that one looks like, although we'll do one at the end. Alright, let's do this one so I can kind of show you how to deal with the, and I keep putting them this way because I like where I can see this, and I don't know exactly that I would be able to see it, anything this way, as much as the other way. It would be more elongated. Let's try one this way. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. So we're going to ink up our edges. This one I don't know that I need to ink that. Alright, and then I have this one, which can go along the bottom. And I have this one that has France. And that may be it for now. Let's see. Let's lay it out and see. Okay. That's going to go there. I would like this to go here. And then I have that may be going in the middle. That's the same thing as this. And I think this, I don't know what this one is, so, but I'm going to see, I'm going to be covering up. Let's see. Maybe I won't be covering it up. And then I could bump him out here, maybe. Yeah. It's a hard one to figure out. Okay, so I'm going to smear some glue along that edge. And then I'm going to smear it along this edge. And wipe off a little bit of that glue. And then this is going on the actual stamp. Okay. Like this. Yeah, about right there. Because then I'm kind of covering up that one little raw edge I still saw. And I think I'd like to get that on there as well. I think I'm going to just put it over top. Yeah. Kind of bounce it right there. All right. Now, I'm going to glue the whole back. Let's see, what else do I remember? I remember not having so many big old interstates and highways and things. We went to Texas when I was 4. I wasn't very old. See, I'm kind of losing it. Let me see about this way. Well, it's the same way, so I'm going to have to go that way. Oh. Let me trade that one out for this one. This one's got a bigger bottom. Hopefully that doesn't stick. Let's go back with the glue. Yeah, we went to Texas in the Doodlebug that I'm speaking of. And we rode all the way down there to see my mom's brother. Her oldest brother lived down there with his family. And we stopped at places along the way and took some photos. And oh, it was a long trip. And I'll tell you, if you've never been in a Doodlebug in that back seat, the rumble seat or whatever you call it, that thing is made out of boar hair or something. I have no clue what that is made out of, but it itched so bad. I would crawl up in there to take me a nap and stuff, and oh, it was horrible. It is so horrible. I could not believe it. I'm trying to get me a flower over here, and it's not agreeing with me. Yeah, maybe across there like that would be pretty. Do I need anything underneath anywhere? I've got this one little white bit of lace that maybe we'll put right there. It's so thin, I think I can get away with just using this on it. Yeah, so I had to lay back there, and thankfully they put a blanket back there for me. It was horrible. It's a good thing I wasn't allergic to it. That stuff would have took me down. Ugh. All right, I'm trying to not have it hang on to me. Once I get this flower down, I think I'll have it taken care of. But yeah, my sister got the back seat. My brother wasn't born yet. So it was just us 2 girls. So because I was the littlest, I had to sleep back there. And the sun beat down in there. Experiences. You have experiences in life. Alright, I like seeing that little bit of word there. So I'm scooching it down a tad. Alright, and I've picked out this pink butterfly. I think he's the one I want. I've got a little pale green one still. That might have more contrast to him. And then I have white ones. He's gonna blend in. And then I have, oh, well, this is not exactly a red, but I do have monarch butterflies. What do you think? I think the monarch might be fine. It's sort of a tone of red. Okay, we'll do monarch. I got to do his edges. And I got to figure out if I want to put a button. I do have sort of an orangey button. Alright. Well, we're getting to close to being 50 minutes. So I'll probably finish this one off. And then I'll come back and show you all the different ones that we did. I do have to stamp this one still, that's right. I haven't done that part yet. Okay, this button is the one I'm thinking of. And then I have sort of a pinky button. I think we're going with pinky. These have some kind of a varnish on them. So I'm having to go through it and then get down to the paint. I like how old this makes it look. Gotta take more off. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, oh I gotta do a stamp. Gotta stamp my received on here somewhere, probably over there. Never did use any of the little wigglies on here. I guess that's the proper name. Let's see. All right, here's the one that's got the little wigglies on it. So let's just stick him in here and see what we can do. Kind of boom him right there. I can sort of see it. Let's do it on the other side. Yeah, that works. All right. All right, now for the button. So I'm going to put my button probably right there, or right there. I think he looks better down there. Okay. Yeah. So, we have how many? Get this out of the way. Cap my glue, and we'll check it out. Okay, so oh, we only get 5. Oh well. I think one I actually did off screen too. Oh, that's supposed to be this way. Sorry. Yes, I did all of them this way, and then the last one I did the other way. So here's how that looks. I've got my carte postale and some little pieces of lace, the sanded button, the stamping, and the flower. And then we have this one. I really like blue. I think it's pretty. Oops, got cat hair. Don't need that. Graylin's over there laying on my cutting board now. Am I close enough? There, that's probably better. I don't know if I was close enough with the other one. There we go. And then we have this one that has a pearl. I wanted to use that pearl. Now when I do these, I'm going to rip them to where I probably get all of that, and I'll ink the edges. It just depends on how I use them. Now this one could actually go either way. This one could go this way. And to tell you the truth, all of them may be. This one you can't really tell where the half is. So you have a choice. And here you can barely really see the detail of any words, although I can just make out a little bit, because that's the one that was intended to be this way. All right, well, I thank you for coming to visit, and all my new subscribers, I welcome you, and all my old subscribers, I really appreciate your support for always being here for me. And everybody, come back again. See me again. Bye-bye.